Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Baruch Habayim. We're continuing in Mishna Berura, Daf Hashavua. We're learning Hilchos Kriya Shema, Siman Samach Aleph. We're in middle of Sif Yud Beis, where the Mechaber is talking about saying Hashem Hu Elokim Sheva Pa'amim is a minhag kasher. The Mishna Berura said the reason is because we're praising Hashem that He lives above in the 7 Rakiyim. Also, the Mishna Berura later says it's because we're escorting the Shechina upward. Also, there's a pasuk, we say it by Mara, Vayar kol am vayemru Hashem Elokim, Hashem Elokim. Yeah, so that's something that's repeated 2 times. And then the Ramah says, you should also be careful not to answer Amen twice to one bracha. Shtei pa'amim Amen, 2 times Amen. Says the Mishna Berura, the gamzeh mechzi kishtei reshuyos, because saying Amen twice looks like 2 domains. Va'ayin v'magen Avram shemeka b'davar. Look in the Magen Avram, he's lenient about the matter that you could say Amen twice to one bracha. Aval achronim eskim alasa. The achronim are maskim that it's aser. Again, the Magen Avram is lenient that you could answer Amen twice to one bracha, but the achronim are machmer. Vimhu oimer Amen v'Amen. Let's say you say to a bracha Amen v'Amen. To one bracha Amen v'Amen. Shari, that's permitted. Midachsiv Baruch Hashem le'olam Amen v'Amen. V'ayin be'Pri Megadim shekasav davar chadash b'zeh. Look in the Pri Megadim, he writes a chiddush. V'hu diyesh trei gavnei Amen. There are 2 types of Amen. Echad she'ani ma'amin u'mechazek shekenu emes. One is that I believe and I verify that this is the truth. V'hasheni shu perush shel bakasha. Another Amen is like a request. That the matters should come true and our desire should be fulfilled. V'imkein, and if so, bivracha sheyesh ba shnei inyanim. A bracha that has 2 inyanim. Al derech mashal, rifa'inu Hashem b'nei rafei, roifei choylei, shaper yesh lomer beis pa'amim amen. So the Pri Megadim has a chiddush that since Amen could have 2 meanings, one is that you verify that Hashem is the roifei choylei Ama Yisrael, and one is your mispalel halavai Hashem should be roifei choylei Ama Yisrael. So you could say Amen twice because your kavana is A, you're verifying that Hashem indeed has that ability, and B, that you would like that to be. But let's say if it's just a regular bracha, Baruch Ata Hashem ala michi v'al hakakala, it's just a statement of praise, then you could only say Amen 1 time. So it depends on the bracha. If it happens your way to answer for 2 things, after it could be the Amen echad yala lekano lekan, that one Amen will work for this and for that. V'im yomer Amen. In other words, let's say you hear one guy making an asher yatzar and one guy making an alamichya. It could be that one Amen will work for both. V'im yomer Amen v'Amen adav tvei. If you could say Amen v'Amen, that's better. Now it's interesting here, the Mishna Berura does not say that if you have 2 things to answer Amen to, you should say Amen, Amen, but rather Amen v'Amen. Later on, the Mishna Berura writes in Siman Kuf Chav Dalet of Katan Chav Hey, that if it happens that someone's has the opportunity to answer Amen for 2 things, he should say Amen, Amen, and he should be mechavin for each Amen what he is answering. But it's better to say Amen v'Amen. I guess over here they're happening simultaneous. So if the 2 things are happening simultaneous, then it could be there is no option of saying Amen, Amen, because the first Amen will be a hefsek to the second Amen. You're answering to 2 simultaneous brachas. So the option is either one Amen or Amen v'Amen. There, you're hearing brachos back to back. So either you say Amen, Amen, or even better, Amen v'Amen.
We had the shaila by Kaddish, where 2 people saying Kaddish in Shul. You said if the Torah Hebrew, you say one Amen to both. And if there are more than enough people, we say two amen. So we didn't say amen the amen. I don't think it's there.
Okay, very good. So the Dirshu brings, like Mendy said, Legabe Kaddish. We said if a bunch of people are saying Kaddish and one is a little bit, one is Makdim, one is Ma'acher, so the Mishna Berura says Siman Nun Hey Sivkat and Daled. So if they finish Takadei Dibor, answer with the first one or with the last one, and it works for everyone. See, there everyone's doing the same thing. So since everyone's doing the same thing, the question is, when should I answer, either to the first or to the last? So therefore, if you hear a lot of people making the same bracha together, Reb Chaim Kanievsky says, follow what the Mishna Berura said, Legabe Kaddish, that if they're finishing within Takadei Dibor, then either answer to the first or answer to the last.
I think we had a shiloh when we learned by Kaddish. What if it's two different parts of Kaddish? He's so far behind, you're so far ahead.
Yeah, so l'chayra that would be like over here. So either if they're finishing simultaneous, it's one amen, or amen ve'amen, and if it's not simultaneous, then it's amen amen or amen ve'amen. Okay. Now we have Inyana D'Yoma, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuso. It's this week's Parsha. Let's see who could figure out how. Okay, Sif Yud Gimel. Achar Pasuk Rishon, Tzarich Loymar, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuso L'olam Va'ed B'chashai. After Shema, you need to say the 6 words, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuso L'olam Va'ed, quietly. Says the Mishna Berura, B'chashai, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuso L'olam Va'ed. V'im lo yamar, what if you didn't say Baruch Shem? Yesh deos ben aposkim im achzir noisai, ayim b'magen Avram, v'ayim b'bir halacha. So apparently there's a machlokes whether if you completely omit Baruch Shem, whether you're to the mitzvah of Kriya Shema or not, right? That's interesting. You would think it's ma'akev for sure, but the Mishna Berura here does not definitively say that. Now it's interesting. In Siman Samach Gimel Sivkat Yud Beis, he writes that if you're not mechavein for Baruch Shem Kevod L'olam Va'ed, you need to say it again, because it's part of the first pasuk. That is before you begin Ve'ahavta. However, once you already began Ve'ahavta, the Be'er Halacha says that you don't go back. Maybe we should see this Be'er Halacha. Let's finish the Mishna Berura on this Sif, and then we'll try to do the Be'er Halacha. Okay, Bachashai, Shekeshakara Yaakov Vino Alav Hashem Levana, when Yaakov called out to his children, Bikesh Galos Lahem Esaketz, he wanted to reveal the end. He wanted to reveal when Mashiach would come. Now this Mishna Berura is Makairei Kadosh in the Rambam, that the source of Baruch Shem is the story of Yaakov Avinu. Let's see what the Mishna Berura says. I'm going to let you know what will happen to you in the end of days. The Shekhinah departed from him, and it didn't allow him to reveal it. Amar Levanov, he said to his children, maybe there's among you someone who's not fit. Paschu kulam ba'amru, they all began and they said, Shema Yisrael Hashem Lekeinu Hashem Echad. Pasach Hazakin ba'amar, whereupon Yaakov Avinu responded, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuso L'olam Va'ed. Ba'amar Rabbanan, the rabbi said, Heichi Navid, what should we do? Neimra, if we're going to say it, Lo Yamar Moshe. Moshe didn't say it. What do you mean Moshe didn't say it? There are a lot of things Moshe didn't say. Moshe didn't say Asher either. Moshe didn't say Mizmar L'Soida. Moshe didn't say it. Moshe didn't say L'Shem Yichad. So talk of that, but there are a lot of things Moshe Rabbeinu didn't say. But, who cares Moshe Rabbeinu didn't say it? So the Noda B'Yehuda says, the kapeda is not to be mafsik in middle of Kriya Shema that Moshe wrote with something that he didn't say. And by the way, Noda B'Yehuda says the reason why on Yom Kippur Katan some people say Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuso L'olam Va'ed out loud is it's not me say their Kriya Shema, so you could say it out loud. So Rabbi Yoshev asks on the Noda B'Yehuda, if the reason why we don't say it out loud is so that it shouldn't be a hefsek, so then how does it help if you say it quietly? You're not to be mafsek quietly. So Yashiv says a completely different rationale. When the Gemara says Shaloi Amru Moshe, is that when we say it out loud, we're making ourselves like we'd be on a higher level than Moshe. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't say it, he didn't understand it. Yaakov said it, he understood it. So we say it quietly. Okay, it's a vast topic. The bottom line is, why is the Mishna Berura quoting this Rambam? Why does the Rambam give this whole history? Again, let's just finish up. The Mishna Berura says, Neimra, to say it, Lo Yamar Moshe. Moshe didn't say it. Lo Neimra, don't say it, Ha Amar Yaakov. So Tiknu Lo Yamar Oisei B'chashai. They enacted to say it quietly. Vu Heker, as a recognition, She'ena Min HaParsha Ksuba Torah. It's not from the Parsha that's written in the Torah. Rak Yaakov Amare. Just Yaakov Avinu said it. When you say Baruch Shem quietly, the Kaf HaChaim writes in the name of the Ben Ish Chai, you need to be able to hear it with your ears, but you don't say it out loud like the rest of Kriya Shema. What about when you're saying it Yechidus? Reb Chaim Brisker says you could say it out loud. The Malachim only get jealous when you say it B'tzibor. L'chayra, that should not be a factor because that's not the only reason we say it quietly. That the Dirshu asks, but l'chayra, I think l'maisa we do say it quietly if you say it b'yechidos. L'chayra, the reason that the Mishna Berura brings applies. The reason is that we can't say it because Moshe didn't say it. But the bottom line is, halacha l'maisa, is it ma'akiv to say Baruch Shem? Let's make an attempt here on this beer halacha. It starts on the page before. Baruch Shem Kved Malchuso Levad. I am Mishna Berura. Le'inyan b'diavad am la'yamare. What would be b'diavad if you didn't say it? Mishna Berura didn't really say what the halacha is. Hinei ha'magen Avram hevi b'shem ha'shiltei giboyim ha'bach she'in machzir noisei. The Magen Avram brings from Rishonim and the Bach, you don't go back. V'halavush poisek the machzir noisei. The Vush says you do go back. Even though Magen Avram is mashma that he agrees with the levush that you go back, which means you go back to the beginning of Shema, doesn't mean you go back to the slot between Shema and V'Yohavta. You have to start again. At the very least, Baruch Shem. Says Ve'alach, in my opinion, if you didn't say Baruch Shem, you don't go back. Ayin Psachim Nunvav Rabbi Yehuda Omer Mafsikin Hayu Ela Shaloi Hayu Omer Baruch Shem K'mal Son Lamvad U'Braisa Shnia Elu Ve'elu Shaloi B'Tzan Chachamim Ela Shaloi Michu Behem Chachamim V'Misa De Machzira Noisai. If the halach is you go back V'Layotzi They Chaves Kriya Shema Yidei Zeh Hayilam Limchos Behem, they should have protested like other things they protested about. Furthermore, we'll go on to the next page, where the Chafetz Chaim brings another very powerful raya that b'diavad it's not ma'akev. The Gemara in the beginning of the second parak of Brachos that says that someone is reading in the Torah v'yigiyas man ha'mikra im kivein liba yatsa. What do you mean im kivein liba yatsa? But you didn't say Baruch Shem. You hear the raya, gavaldig raya. So somebody's reading the Torah and he was mechavein liba. So you're yotza. What do you mean? He didn't say Baruch Shem. It's all fine and good if kivein liba means latzes. Kivein liba to be yaitza nuchalemer gam kin to marry damer baruch shem kavod musa levad. Maybe it means kivein liba if you had a mind to be yaitze, and then therefore you said whatever you needed to say to be yaitze. And the first kivein liba likrois batar stam ve'afal pikein yatza. If kivein liba means you're mechavein to read the words properly, like the Gemara says in the answer, then definitely you didn't say Baruch Shem. Then the Chafetz Chaim, there's a Haggah here. Then the Chafetz Chaim brings the Magen Avram. The Magen Avram brings a raya from Siman Samach Vav, Sivav. Again, the Magen Avram is trying to say the Magen Avram's personal shita is machzira noisai, and in Siman Samach Vav Sivav he paskins ein lahafsik ba'amiras baruch shem k'mal levad unless you're afraid that they might kill you. So what do we see? That in general, you do have to say Baruch Shem. Alma duhu b'chlal kabbalas malchus shamayim, like the first pasuk. Chafetz Chaim says in his opinion it's not a raya, because we also agree Baruch Shem Kavos Levad is a great inyan. But it's not a raya that if you skipped it, you have to go back. Bottom line is, there's a machlokes hapoiskim whether Baruch Shem is ma'akev. The Bach and the Shiltei Gebarim say it's not ma'akev. The Levush, the Magen Avraham, says it is ma'akev. The Chafetz Chaim personally is lenient, and he sides with the opinions that if you didn't say it, b'chlal ein machzir noisei. Okay? Have a great day, everyone. Bracha v'hatzlacha.
You start off with the Magen Avraham that you should say under Ashiyotza because it's still and the Shvach.
I said on Rufa'inu.
Why only the Rufa'inu? Why not the other brother?
Atachayinu also. I meant Rufa'inu as opposed to Asher Yotzar. Rufa'inu is a bakasha. I don't think Asher Yotzar is a bakasha. It's a shevach.
Okay, but what about the other brachas?
Then the other brachas also, you're right, all the 13 middle brachas, you have this Pri Megadim that you could say Amen, you could say Amen twice. Lamaisa we don't do it, but it's l'charchila to be mechavein when you answer Amen to the middle brachas, that basically emes v'halavai, right? It's true and you're mispalo that it should be.
Okay.
Okay? Hatzlacha, everyone. Bracha v'hatzlacha. Have a great day. Everyone's invited to join us for an amazing shir tonight on the Torah of Amram. Torah Amram.
Amram?
Amram. Oh, I want to ask you something. Yeah, Amram.